Hello, welcome to Handmade by Julia Quinn and my Thursday afternoon Facebook Live, sharing fun and inspiration from my creative pursuits. This is the card that I shared last night on my blog. It was a card I created for a colour challenge, and the colour challenge was to use Blackberry Bliss, Berry Burst, Granny Apple Green and Lemon Lime Twist colours on my card. And this is what I've come up with. All of those colours I actually had Stampin' blends for, so that made me think of a great idea for using stamping blends to create colour for your die cuts. And also my card features some of this stuff. This is two-tone cardstock, so if I fold it over like that, you can see this is Granny Apple Green. You can see one side is dark and one side is light, and this card is so fun. There are so many things you can do with it. It has a white core, so when you tear it, it's white inside. You can fold it over to show both sides on the same project, so your light and your dark. But I'm going to use it with this really fun technique, embossing it. Just pop that in there. Now this is a 3D embossing folder, so I just need to add my 3D top plate with my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and take everything else off. Okay, so when I've embossed this lovely two-tone cardstock, it comes out like that, same as any other, but the next thing I'm going to do to create this wonderful texture, which side will I use? I think I've used the light side on that one. So maybe this time I'll use the dark side. I'm just going to use some sandpaper. This is just a block of sandpaper, and as I sand over the top, because of the texture and because of the white core of the card, the sanding shows up that lovely raised surface, and you've got stripes. Easy peasy. Now this works really nicely with all sorts of embossing folders. If you have, say, the fern or flowers, pressed flowers, or the butterfly ones, it looks amazing with that little technique. Now, I'm just going to use my cloth here to wipe my glass mat, which has got little bits of paper on it as well. Okay, so that's technique one on my card. The next technique is to create these gorgeous die cuts. Oh, actually, I'm using also the Label Me Grateful bundle. This is one of our new online exclusives available this month. Actually, my highest motivation for buying this bundle is because of the leaves. I do love leaves, die cut leaves. So I'm going to get out these two exactly the same. The leaves there, even this little leaf, and more leaves. And then there's got the one flower and this one. And I've also used the label, but I've already cut out the label for my card that I'm making for you. And then on my piece of cardstock here, I'm going to, starting with my lightest colour, my Lemon Lime Twist, just draw stripes all the way across. And then Lemon Lime Twist Dark. And I'm using the brush tip so that I get good coverage. Okay, and then the light Granny Apple Green next. Overlap a little bit and then come down. And then next, the dark Granny Apple Green. And that's quite a bit darker. Okay, so there's my greens. Actually, I'll go a bit further because I am cutting out a lot more greenery than the flowers. And then with my Berry Burst light, I'll start from the bottom and go up just to give myself a bit more room. Just drawing little lines, sometimes overlapping, and dark berry burst. There we go. And then light blackberry bliss and dark blackberry bliss. So then you've got your lovely ombre look, easily created just with your stamping blends. And then when I pop my dies on it, there we go, those two there. Yeah, I thought I wouldn't have enough room. Oh no, I might. Look at this. There's those ones. And then I will have to cut this one out twice because I want 2 flowers. Okay, pop them onto my platform. Look, I could have used my little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine for this, but I didn't pull it out, so I'll just use my best buddy sitting here beside me on my table. Pop you on there and then cut those out. And then I can see a few things have moved. I do have to cut out, there's my flower. Got a little bit of white there. Actually, I don't mind that. I do have to cut my flower again because I want another one. And this one as well. But I need to get all of this other stuff off before I do that. There's my leaves. Lovely leaves. It's a colouring your cardstock, your white cardstock with your Stampin' Blends actually gives you a slightly lighter tone than using cardstock when you're doing your die cutting, which makes it really interesting. Because I will be using it again. So just move, make sure I've got all my bits and pieces here. Here's one more of the leaves. I love how all of our dies have that little hole that you can just pop it, poke it through, easily get your bits and pieces out of your dies. And here we are. There we go. These are actually quite bright colours for me to use. I'm not usually a bright colour person, but they do look rather nice together. Okay, so we've got our die cuts, we've got our sanded textured piece. Here's our card base, Blackberry Bliss, and I'm just going to whiten that down with a bit of white. Oops. Pop my white onto my card front, and this one goes on next. Now, using a seal on embossed paper doesn't work very successfully, so I always put seal onto my destination, making sure I leave a little edge border all around the edge because this cardstock's slightly smaller. There we go. So there's the front of my card ready. Here's my label, which also comes from the lovely Charming Day dies, and I'm going to stamp You're the Best. It's a lovely set, actually. I really like the font. So grateful for that heart of yours. A little kindness makes a big difference. Thank you. You are so appreciated, and you're the best. And I chose You're the Best because I think it's fairly flexible. Good little flexible saying. I'm just going to pop that in the top right corner, which will give me plenty of room to play around with all my die cuts. Okay, close you up. Pop this on the front with some dimensionals. I hope you're having a lovely, it's beautiful weather here today. Last Thursday I didn't come on to do my Facebook Live because we were camping, and it was actually quite beautiful then too. But up until that point last week when we were camping, it was very, very windy and wild. Okay, so now I'm going to pop my leaves on here. There's a little piece I've got to pop out there. Leaves on there. And put these two over the top. So these two, just going to put a Stampin' dimensional on the back, and they're going to camouflage all of those bits and pieces. But I'm going to cheat a little and pop a little bit of seal here where the flowers will hide it, but that gives me somewhere to pop all my bits and pieces so I know where they're going to go. There we go. And you. Now, making sure I cover up all of that seal with my two flowers, 1, 2, and then these guys need to be stuck on with a bit of liquid glue. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just dropped the other one. Never to be found, I think. I'll just pop this over here, and then this one here, and then to cover up those, because you can see where the dimensionals are behind the little holes on the flowers, I'm going to add some holographic resin dots. These dots pick up colour from everywhere. They're really rather fun. There, and a couple of the smaller ones just around my label, because apparently having odd numbers is the way to go. And one up there. All right, then I've got my inside piece. I really can't find the other one that I dropped, so I'll just have to give up on him for the minute. With my inside piece, I'm going to use this as a stencil and colour using my Stampin' blends. Just holding that carefully up the leaf. Whoops. It's easy to see when I do move it, to continue that greenery inside my card. So there you go, there's that leaf, and I might do this one here, and a little bit of dark lemon lime twist and light granny apple green. Where did you go? Whoop, there we are. And that's getting another use out of my die cuts, using them as a little frame. And let's have a look at my original. I think I put another one up the top here. I might do you again. There we go. Okay. That looks cool, doesn't it? I love the soft edges that you use when you get a stencil with the blends, the die cut and the blends, Stampin' blends. And that just goes on the inside of my card. And then I can send that to you and tell you that you're the best. And there you go. That's my card with the dark two-tone on that one, and this one's got the light two-tone. Don't they look amazing? Great colours. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll answer all your comments as soon as I'm finished. Bye now.